Let me tell you a story. It's not a fairy tale and it doesn't have a happy ending. It's a story about trust, how easily it's given, how brutally it's broken, and how often we ignore the red flags waving right in front of our faces. This is a story about the kind of people who ask you for favors that cost you more than just your time. Favors that chip away at your integrity, your peace of mind, and sometimes even your future. These are the favors that, if you're not careful, will leave you wondering, how did I let this happen? But this isn't just a cautionary tale. It's a guide, a Stoic guide, to recognizing the people who don't deserve your trust. Because trust isn't just a feeling, it's a currency. And when you hand it over to the wrong person, you're not just losing a piece of yourself, you're giving them the power to destroy you. So let's dive in. Let's talk about the 7 favors you should never say yes to. And let's do it in a way that doesn't just inform you, but keeps you hooked, because this isn't just about avoiding bad people, it's about reclaiming your power. 1, they ask you to lie for them. Imagine this, your friend calls you in a panic. They messed up at work, missed a deadline, or maybe they did something even worse. They need you to cover for them. Just tell them I was with you, they say. It's just one little lie. No one will ever know. But here's the thing about lies, they're never little. They're like cracks in a dam. One small fissure can lead to a flood. And when that flood comes, guess who's going to be swept away? Not them, you. Stoicism teaches us that integrity is non-negotiable. It's the foundation of a good life. When someone asks you to lie for them, they're not just asking you to bend the truth, they're asking you to break your own moral compass. And once that compass is broken, it's hard to find your way back. Think about it. If they're willing to ask you to lie, what else are they willing to do? What other lines will they cross? And more importantly, why should you risk your reputation for someone who doesn't value honesty? The moment someone asks you to lie for them, they've shown you who they are. Believe them. 2, they ask you to take the blame for them. This one is a classic. It's the ultimate test of loyalty and the ultimate trap. Someone makes a mistake, and instead of owning up to it, they turn to you and say, "You're the only one who can help me. If you take the blame, I'll owe you forever." Sounds noble, right? Wrong. Taking the blame for someone else isn't loyalty. It's self-sabotage. It's sacrificing your own well-being for someone who isn't willing to face the consequences of their actions. And let's be real, if they were truly loyal to you, they wouldn't ask you to do something that could ruin your life. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for your own actions, but it also warns against taking responsibility for someone else's. Why? Because when you take the blame, you're not just accepting their consequences, you're enabling their behavior. You're telling them it's okay to keep making mistakes because you'll always be there to clean up the mess. And here's the kicker, they won't owe you forever. In fact, they'll probably forget about it the moment the heat is off. But you'll be left holding the bag, wondering why you ever thought it was a good idea. 3, they ask you for money without the intention to pay you back. Money, the great divider of friendships, families, and even nations. When someone asks you for money, it's not just a financial transaction, it's a test of trust. And when they have no intention of paying you back, it's not just a loan, it's a theft. Let's be clear, there's nothing wrong with helping someone in need, but there's a big difference between helping and enabling. When someone asks you for money with no plan to repay you, they're not asking for help, they're asking for a handout. And worse, they're putting you in a position where you have to choose between your relationship and your principles. Stoicism teaches us to be generous, but also to be wise. It's not about being stingy, it's about recognizing when someone is taking advantage of your kindness. Because here's the truth, if they're not willing to pay you back, they don't respect you. And if they don't respect you, they don't deserve your money. So the next time someone asks you for a loan with no intention of paying you back, ask yourself this, is this person worth the price of your self-respect? 4, they ask you to keep a secret of something bad they did. Secrets are powerful. They can bind people together or tear them apart. When someone asks you to keep a secret, they're not just asking for your silence, they're asking for your complicity. And when that secret involves something bad they've done, they're not just asking you to keep quiet, they're asking you to carry their guilt. Think about it. If they've done something bad, why should you be the one to bear the weight of it? Why should you have to live with the knowledge that you're protecting someone who's done something wrong? Stoicism teaches us to live with virtue and to act with integrity, but when you agree to keep a secret of something bad, you're compromising both. You're choosing loyalty to someone else over loyalty to yourself, and that's a dangerous game to play. Because here's the thing, secrets have a way of coming out, and when they do, you don't want to be the one standing there, wondering why you ever agreed to keep quiet. 5. They ask you to cover for them. This one is a close cousin of taking the blame, but with a twist. When someone asks you to cover for them, they're not just asking you to take the fall. They're asking you to lie, deceive, and manipulate on their behalf. They're asking you to become an accomplice, and let's be real, if they're willing to ask you to cover for them, they're probably not just making a one-time mistake. They're probably engaging in behavior that's reckless, irresponsible, or even dangerous. And by covering for them, you're not just helping them, you're enabling them. Stoicism teaches us to be accountable for our actions and to hold others accountable for theirs. But when you cover for someone, you're doing the opposite. You're letting them off the hook and putting yourself in the line of fire. So, the next time someone asks you to cover for them, ask yourself this: is this person worth the risk? And more importantly, are you willing to sacrifice your own integrity for someone who isn't willing to take responsibility for their actions? 6. They ask you to do things for them for free. We've all been there. Someone asks you for a favor, a small one at first. Maybe it's helping them move, or designing a logo, or babysitting their kids. And because you're a good person, you say yes. But then it happens again, and again. And before you know it, you're their go-to person for free labor. Here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with helping someone out. But when someone expects you to do things for them for free, they're not just asking for help, they're taking advantage of you. They're treating your time, your skills, and your energy as if they're worthless. Stoicism teaches us to value ourselves and to set boundaries. It's not about being selfish, it's about recognizing your own worth. Because if you don't value yourself, no one else will. So the next time someone asks you to do something for free, ask yourself this: is this person respecting my time and energy, or are they treating me like a doormat? 7. They ask you to take a risk while they don't. This one is the ultimate red flag. When someone asks you to take a risk, whether it's financial, emotional, or physical, while they sit back and watch, they're not just asking for your help. They're asking you to be their shield. Think about it. If they're not willing to take the risk themselves, why should you? If they're not willing to put their own neck on the line, why should you put yours? Stoicism teaches us to be courageous, but also to be discerning. It's not about avoiding risk. It's about taking risks that are worth taking. And when someone asks you to take a risk while they don't, they're not just asking you to be brave, they're asking you to be foolish. So the next time someone asks you to take a risk while they don't, ask yourself this: is this person worth the gamble? And more importantly, are you willing to bet your future on someone who isn't willing to bet theirs? Trust is earned, not given. At the end of the day, trust is one of the most valuable things you can give someone, but it's also one of the most fragile. Once it's broken, it's hard to repair, and once it's gone, it's hard to get back. So be careful who you trust. Be careful who you give your time, your energy, and your loyalty to, because not everyone deserves it, and not everyone will treat it with the respect it deserves. Remember, you are the gatekeeper of your own life. You decide who gets in and who stays out. And if someone asks you for one of these 7 favors, don't just say no, show them the door, because you deserve better, and you always will. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.